The title of my presentation was "My Herd is a Reproductive Wreck. What Can I Do?" Over the past 2 years, the drought and heat stress over much of the country has really taken a toll on reproductive performance. So what I did was start off with some questions that producers can ask themselves as a means of assessing their level of reproductive performance, and then started to give them some management tips for beginning to improve it. We really emphasize the importance of early calving females in a beef herd because early calving females are easier to rebreed, they have calves that weigh more and are more profitable. I then talked about principles of heifer development that will allow producers to then insert early calving heifers into their herd. We also talked about ways of taking your cows and shifting them to where they can begin to calve earlier in the calving season. One of the best strategies for improving reproduction in your herd are two things. One is to put a lot of emphasis on heifer development. That is, there's a series of best management practices, such as identifying a target weight your heifers should reach before the breeding season, selecting those heifers that conceive early in the breeding season, and then ensuring that they weigh about 85% of their mature weight at calving. By doing that, what you'll be able to do is develop a group of heifers that will frequently calve early, and if they calve early the first year, they continue to calve early under most circumstances. The second thing that can be done is to systematically shorten the breeding season in your cow herd. By doing that, you'll shorten your calving season, which gives your cows more time from calving to the start of the breeding season to begin to cycle. It also ensures that your calves are going to be a little bit older at weaning and therefore heavier. Some keys to shortening it are basically just two things, really. One is to just physically start to pull the bulls out earlier, but another thing that can be used is there are protocols, estrus synchronization protocols that have been developed that are now highly effective that allow you to inseminate your cows in one day without any heat checking. And what you can do then is using these fixed time insemination protocols, people have gotten 50 to 60% of their cows to become pregnant the first day of the breeding season. By doing that, you can really begin to shorten your breeding season because you've shifted a large proportion of your cows to conceiving at the very beginning. Well, to summarize, there's 5 basic strategies that can be used to maximize lifetime reproduction in a beef herd. The first is proper heifer development. Selecting heifers that conceive early in the breeding season and inserting them into your herd is the first thing. The second thing is to systematically shorten your breeding season down to perhaps 45 to 60 days, something in that range. A third point to give emphasis to is to have your cows in a minimum of a body condition score of 5 at calving. There's really good evidence that body condition score has a very strong effect on return to estrus. A fourth point would be to try to minimize dystocia. Calving difficulty will lengthen the period of time from calving until when a cow shows estrus. And the last point is to seriously consider using fixed time AI at the start of a breeding season to increase the proportion of cows that conceive early and therefore will calve early.